quite strong, wasn't that?
To LuneTube.
To LuneTube.
Cheers. Well, here we are again.
Hello.
Another LuneChat.
Indeed.
Thanks. Firstly, I think we should start with some thank yous. Because I don't think we did any thank yous last time, did we?
No.
I think we should.
Well, they might have been edited out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you won't edit these out then. I think we should thank everybody who's watched all the LuneTube films.
Yeah.
And shown their appreciation of the films and enthusiasm and ideas, shared their ideas.
Engagement, all
very good engagement.
Nice when we get feedback.
Nice word. We love the feedback. So thank you all very much for that. And especially for those people who watched LuneChat 1.
Yeah. Who demanded another one.
So here it is. Is it time for It's in the Bag?
It's in the bag. Yes.
Can you do a logo or something, caption or something? It's in the bag comes up there.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Oh.
Oh.
Should I? No.
No. Well, you might recognise this on a number of levels, actually. It's a rather nice hat. These hats are part of the uniform of staff who work for Transport for London on the London Underground. And I wore this in one of the Christmas films, the one called Let It Snow. And that's where I touched... Well, I won't tell you what I do because you can watch it. There'll be a link up there. Just because it's not Christmas doesn't mean you can't still enjoy it. But this hat has a rather wonderful local connection.
Really?
It does. If I turn it inside out and show the label inside, you won't be able to see this, but it has a little label inside as well as the name tag, so they don't get lost by staff. It says there, can you read that? Designed by... Hemingway Design. That's Wayne Hemingway, who is a Sandgronan from Morecambe.
Morecambe.
So it's a little Morecambe connection. Next time you're in London and you see one of these, or any of the uniform with this branding on, designed by our very own Wayne Hemingway.
Oh, look at that. What is this, David? Why might Local History News, the national publication by the British Association for Local History, be in our LuneTube bag?
Well, this is the Winter 2018 edition, and on page 15, Film and Local History. There we are, LuneTube. So that was sent to me by the British Association for Local History, who featured us in their magazine, and we're on their website as well. And they have groups all over the country who are part of their society, all different local history groups. So this, I'm sure, is a very, very well-read publication. So if you're a reader of local history news, hello. Oh.
Now then.
Now, this object, I am sure, will look slightly odd to a lot of people. So perhaps you could explain what it is and what you do with it.
Right then, folks. This is an Osmo. This bit here is the camera, and the rest of it, this mechanism here that it sits on, is called a gimbal. Originally, when we started filming LuneTube, this is what we filmed on. This camera is mounted on 3 different axes, so one for that way, one for that way, and one for that way. So they're the 3 axes, so that when you are walking along with it, tracking David doing his presentation, it keeps it steady, because handheld camera work is really hectic to watch, I think. So this was originally our solution. It's lovely and light. Your phone goes in there, and then sound is something slightly different, but this was our original weapon of choice to film our quick, simple little LuneTube films on. You wouldn't know, would you? You would not know that such films come out of this.
Could you cut in at this point a clip of a film of a bit of Osmo footage from one of our films.
Yeah.
These days, you can cross here for free if you can figure out who's got right of way, but until 1966 it was a toll bridge operated by the railway.
But for outdoor shooting on a fine day, it's the business, and it's great because it's so light, and so you can get into all sorts of nooks and crannies. Like when we were filming under the shelter stone at Trowborough. Like I just remember being in a real difficult place filming you under the stone, but it just there's nowhere that you can't go with this because it's so light and manoeuvrable. So thank you, Osmo.
Shall we go another from the back?
Yeah, okay.
Right.
I do have to say though that for other films like our Lune Mood, we use bigger, better camera stuff. You just use different tools depending on the stories that you're telling and what you want things to look like. David.
Oh,
crikey, health and safety.
don't hold it too near me.
Lights. Better.
Right.
Right then.
So, that's come out of the LuneTube bag. What memories does this conjure up?
Well, an early morning shoot in Lancaster, in Georgian Lancaster, involving a Georgian lady.
Yep.
And a street urchin.
A street urchin, yeah, in his eBay costume.
Aged 2.5.
Aged 2.5. Well, there's a little story there, isn't there? Because when you saw the script for the film, what's it called? Link to the Past.
Yeah.
There'll be a link there to Link to the Past. When you saw the script and it referred to the link boy with the torch, how old did you think the boy was? Because I said we've got someone for that. I've got a friend whose son is going to play this part. How old did you think the boy was going to be?
I thought he would be 10.
2.5. 2.5.
I ripped the shooting script up, which was going to be shot from the point of view of the link boy as he trudged through the streets with his link. Didn't quite work like that.
Just had to make it a bit simpler.
Yeah.
We had a few takes, didn't we, before we got the final.
Well, and he'd just been woken up. It was 7 o'clock in the morning.
He'd already been, I think he'd been to Manchester that morning in the car, so he'd had a long day already. But it ended up perfect, and it was very, very good. His acting is fantastic in it.
Well, it is, but he did have to be paid.
Bribed. Yeah.
I mean, he drove quite a hard bargain, didn't he?
Yes, he
to
did.
be
I
fair,
think how many chocolate coins?
Chocolates weren't cutting it. Let's face it. The coins, the Kit Kats.
Yeah.
Didn't impress him, did they?
No. Can't you get him to come to you, guys?
Louis, come here.
Have you done basic training with this lad yet? That's it. Get him to come to you now. Don't
Louis.
move too far forward, Graham. You're being shot.
Louis, come here. Come over here.
A bit more. The only thing that eventually got us the take we wanted was hard currency. So pound coins, actual pound coins.
I think he'll go far.
I think he'll go far. I think he's got a good future in show
Yeah.
business.
I don't know whether we could afford him again, though.
No. Fortunately, we don't have any other films at the moment requiring.
Well,
link
we're not
coin.
going to, are we?
No. The link itself, because we needed a key element for the film was obviously to have a link, and I couldn't source one readily. I don't have a supply of them, but fortunately, I have a friend, Mr. Shane Johnston, who's a very creative. He's an artist, so naturally he's very creative, and he's the sort of person I can send him a text and say, "I need a link. Here's a picture of what one looks like." And I went round his house to collect it, and he literally knocked this up. It's got a proper handle for health and safety because it's going to be used by a little boy, and it's just perfect. And that's thanks to Shane. So another of our fantastic contributors. Someone asked us about the authentic sounding dialogue of the Georgian lady, and we were just discussing this earlier, weren't we? Originally, in the original script, the Georgian lady didn't have any dialogue. She was like a sort of ghostly presence. And Janine looked at the script and sent it back and said, she needs some lines.
Yeah.
Give her some lines.
She's got all of the costume, for goodness sake.
my initial response to this was, ooh, I'm going to have to come up with some authentic sounding George, because if she's Georgian, she's got to speak the way a Georgian person would speak. So I thought, well, where am I going to get some examples of sort of Regency era speech from? She needs to speak like someone from a Jane Austen novel.
Where could you find that material?
So always look for the obvious answer, I say. So I just went and looked for quotes from Jane Austen that fitted the script. So everything the Georgian lady says in the script is written by Jane Austen. So I could say I've written a script with Jane Austen.
With her?
Yeah. She didn't write.
She should have got a credit.
Yeah, she should have done. Lots and lots of stuff to come. Things we can't talk about at the moment because it's secret. But stay tuned to LuneTube.
Stay tuned.
And thanks again to all our lovely LuneTubers.
Thanks, LuneTubers. And if you haven't signed up, sign up to our website, lunetube.co.uk, and then you get all sorts of previews, premieres, bonus footage.
Well, they'll have got this first, won't they?
Yeah.
This goes first.
You are the chosen few. Unless you're watching it just on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you're not.
Well, in which case you could have seen this first if you were signed up. So sign up and then you'll see the next one first.
Yeah.
Is that clear? Thank you.
All right then.
Cheers.
Cheers.